Lascelles deserves his place in the team, even when Botman comes back. Just say it. Just say it.
He's got a point to prove, Lascelles. He's got a point to prove.
The only surprise is it's taken until 10 minutes into the second half. And Tyneside rises en masse.
If we didn't have Lewis Miley in the starting 11 now, that centre midfield is
Newcastle United have laid down another marker here by beating one of their rivals, potentially for a top 4 place.
Okay, if you're watching, you might want to take a look at Tina Livermore. Don't listen to what Lee says about Luke Shaw. Tina Livermore is the truth.
Stop putting me in this.
Following Newcastle's controversial 1-1 draw in Paris on Tuesday night, the focus now turns to Manchester United. St James's Park will be bouncing under the lights on what is a bitterly cold night with snow and temperatures around -3 in the city centre. The visitors are coming off another poor display in the Champions League, throwing away 3 points away to Galatasaray.
Last season these clubs contested the Carabao Cup final, but that is the only one of the last 5 meetings to have gone Manchester United's way. Robert Jones in control of another barometer fixture. Another chance to examine the credentials of sides that finished 3rd and 4th last season, but who are currently sitting 6th and 7th.
The cancer is that you
Right across the face, it comes for Isak! It's a corner. Gordon, Share with the header, back in, and over by Lascelles. Stage is set here. Kieran Trippier! Woodwork down and out again.
And the official attendance here at the Dangerous Call tonight is 52,240.
Gordon! The only surprise is it's taken until 10 minutes into the second half. And Tyneside rises en masse. France amidst plenty of concern and sympathy. And the Slovakian Martin Dubravka is summoned from the back seat of the dugout. The flag has now gone up. Really late in the day. the end of the game, and Newcastle United have laid down another marker here by beating one of their rivals, potentially for a top 4 place. They climb above them in the table thanks to Anthony Gordon's extremely well-built goal 10 minutes into the second half, but 1-0 is the scoreline. It doesn't really tell the story of Newcastle's overall superiority. But there it is for history. Newcastle 1, Manchester United 0.
It's 10 PM here on NFTV Radio, and Newcastle United have defeated Manchester United thanks to a goal by winger Anthony Gordon in the 55th minute to claim all 3 points in the Premier League. It was a contest dominated by Eddie Howe's injury-ravaged side as the Toon Army start ahead up the ground. Let's join Lee, Johnny, Fordy and Michael in the second part of The Last Word.
And welcome to The Last Word. Newcastle United have just beaten Manchester United by 1-0. It is The Last Word. I've got Lee, I've got Michael, I've got Fordy. Get your comments in. How good was that? Newcastle United are just so tough to beat at home. Just one defeat at home in the Premier League. We don't need to tell you about that one. Forget about that one. But it's another win against Manchester United this time round. Lee, let's start with the team, with Newcastle United. It was the same team that took on PSG. You were there, of course, at PSG on Tuesday night. It was nothing really else he could do, could he? Yeah, I'm not surprised. How much more are you asking? Because we've got a game every 3 days until Boxing Day. So, and I know we're going to touch upon the Nick Pope. That's probably the only sour thing about tonight. But you can't really ask. Maybe Lewis Hall, maybe you can get a few more minutes. But apart from that, look. I mean, Lewis Miley's playing absolutely phenomenal at the moment, doing need short long stuff in that start 11 right now. That's how well he's playing.
That's just what we need, though. We need competition for places.
Can I just say something as well? If we didn't have Lewis Miley in the starting 11 now, that centre midfield is fucked.
We're relying on a 17-year-old.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're speaking facts. We're relying on a 17-year-old from up the roads. And again, if we don't have it, we are fucked. I agree with you. I totally do.
That's a bit disrespectful to Matt Ritchie, but that's all I'm saying. Michael, Man United made 4 changes to the side that drew against Galatasaray. Absolutely thrown that one away, literally with Onana on Wednesday evening. But this isn't the Manchester United of old. We've said this for the last few years now. They didn't scare you, did they?
No, not a chance. I mean, their best players are right back in Wan-Bissaka, to be quite frank. They're known for their defence, and they have been for like the last 30 years. But I don't look at that team and go, they're going to dismantle us. And that's what I've thought of for the last 25 years of my existence. Like, you know, not give my age away there at all, but there's nothing in that squad that frightens me.
No, definitely not. And 40.
Only one Man United starting 11 gets an hour 11 there.
Who?
Luke Shaw, if he plays left back.
I don't even know. I don't even think he
Tino Livramento, if you did watch it.
Yeah, because Tino started well, unbelievable, but longevity. They'll be sure.
That's a debate in the comments. I'd rather have Tino Livramento right now where he's playing. 40.
Yeah.
We're going to probably say this all the way up throughout the game.
Yeah.
Newcastle were dominant until probably about the 86th minute. But first half, Newcastle were unbelievable. Come out like so quick, weren't they? They were absolutely brilliant. There were so many times, particularly putting the pressure on Andre Onana. But in terms of real cutting edge chances, there wasn't many that you'd go, we should have really scored that. I think that Onana has to work for. The best chance that I can think of is really, well, there's 2 chances. The first is Miggy's shot, which is parried out. The second one is Isak, where it just goes wide. I think he's going to be putting it in, if I'm honest.
Yeah, even chances aside, I think we're just all over them. Like, they had nothing at all. And it's surprising for a Manchester United team, like your man was saying there, in 25 years or so, we've known Manchester United to be dominant all throughout the Ferguson era, and even throughout the other managers that they had afterwards, but they had nothing. I mean, we should have put them to the sword. Like, 1-0 was fair, very fair on them, because, again, if we put the Trippier chance, the free kick, if we put the Joe Linton chance, he kind of mishit, the scuffed that one, we could have put them to the sword, really, really and truly now. So, yeah.
The one that I've seen back again is Miggy's, where he cuts in off the right and he bends it. He should have hit the target with that one. It was clear as day. Obviously there was Isak's, but I'm quite shocked we didn't come in with a lead at half time. To
be honest, I thought we should have just shoot on sight. Anytime we've seen a glimpse of Onana, even if it's from Pope, we should be shooting on sight because he is shitting it right now. Like, his confidence is... Remember when Joe Linton couldn't hit a barn door for shit? It's lower than that. So again, I'm surprised it's still 1-0. But again, I'm happy with the win, don't get me wrong. But really and truly, they got away with one. They should have been fucking buried, dead and buried.
Yeah, Garnacho had one chance for Manchester United in that first half where it was a good ball from Bruno Fernandes, plays him in on the left-hand side for Manchester United, and Pope makes a comfortable save. But Lee, it's the big thing from the first half, the lack of cutting edge. We didn't get the goal in the first half. We didn't make it more comfortable going into the first half, or towards the end of the first half, rather.
Yes, you've got to score when you're on top. That was my only concern. I was going with Michael there, how we're not 1-0 up at half-time. Because the longer that goes on, you'll only takes one chance to the opposition to bury it. So that was the only concern for me. But we didn't have to worry, did we? I mean, look at this. It looks very narrow when you look at it if you haven't watched the highlights. 1-0. That was a close game, but we were so comfortable.
But you knew it was coming though. Throughout the whole first half, even though we didn't score, we knew it was coming, right? You felt comfortable. You didn't feel like they were a threat at all. It's not Man United of old, like, they can catch us on the counter attack or whatever. It's comfortable throughout the whole game.
Do you know what it is as well? I feel for them because they've got a long way home tonight, the Man United fans.
What, all the way down to London?
Yeah, it's not
I knew what he's thinking.
London.
Essex is another one.
Devon supporters, coaches going back, you know.
London, Dublin, Belfast.
They weren't allowed to fly. They had to take the 3-hour coach journey. This is the players.
This is where I feel really sorry for what they're going to do. Honestly, it's so really bad. I'll tell you what, I couldn't believe myself, Michael. It was Kieran Trippier's free kick. I thought it was in. It almost thought, if you can remember Johan Cabaye, 2011-12 season, free kick off the underside of the crossbar and in. No chance for Anders Lindegaard. There was no chance for Andre Onana. But you thought that was in. It must have been very close.
He caught it too sweetly. It was flush on the crossbar, and that was too sweetly. And I mean, that would have been the kind of like the icing on the cake for the first half. Just, you know, taking us in. What that would have been 42nd minute or something, taking us in 1-0. But it's gutting because it was exactly the same as Cabaye.
Yeah, it certainly was. And look, half-time, Newcastle 0, Man United 0. Manchester United would have been absolutely delighted with that, by the way. It was so comfortable for Newcastle. Second half, it was kind of, I think the talk at half-time was we need to get that goal early on, and we did get that goal early on. And it was great in terms of the press, in terms of putting too much pressure on Manchester United in their own half. Bruno gets the ball in the middle of the park, probably about around 25 yards out, drives a little bit, plays a lovely ball to the right-hand side because Trippier's so far up, 40, he lays it on a plate for Anthony
Gordon.
Running down the wing.
Gordon.
Makes the Geordie sing.
Gordon.
He made it 1-0 to Newcastle. There you go, but tell me, how good was that?
It was fantastic. And again, it was your guy. Remember you was bigging up Luke Shaw. Oh, he's the only guy that can get into our team. Hold on.
Over longevity.
I don't care about longevity. I care about right now. He's not getting over anyone right now. Have you seen Tino Livramento? The future of England, the future of Newcastle. Listen, Dan Bird's not even getting into this team.
I said to you that last week, didn't I? Yeah. I said with Livramento, I said it with Miley right now. I don't want Sean Longstaff in that centre midfield right now.
Trippier and Byrne better look out for their spots.
Don't get me wrong, you want the squad, but right now, that's how good these two young lads are playing. We're just echoing from last week again.
Fantastic.
But how good was the goal, Forney? How good?
Sorry. I mean, it's a sweat.
You know what he's like. He's trying to start something.
It was a sweaty. If anyone plays FIFA at home, it's a sweaty. You know, right across the box, tapping at the back post. Gordon, come on, easy.
Just going to say, Trippier will get the plaudits for the ball across the box, but the ball from Bruno to set up Trippier for that was fantastic.
That's what I was going to say. Look, the goal was easy. Even Michael Ramsey would have scored that. Like that's how easy a goal it would have been.
Michael Ramsey ain't scoring that, man. He's been trying to dribble past 15 players and then try and tap it in.
Exactly. But
who's Michael Ramsey? People are like Googling right now. Who's that?
The Irish guy. Nah, he's a good lad. But yeah, it was 1-0 and it was thoroughly deserved by Newcastle. Look, we were banging on the door. And we opened the door in the 56 minutes.
Down the door. We didn't just open the door. We bust down it. We gave it one of them.
We certainly did. Look, in terms of after that, did Newcastle have many chances after that? Not really. Joe Linton had one where it was straight at Onana, but it was just a case of dominant possession.
We didn't have to. That's the thing. Once we were 1-0 up, all of their mind games in terms of wasting time, doing the laces very, very slowly, and all that bullshit, the dark arts as we call it, they didn't have to do that now. They had to come at us. So once we 1-0 up, playing in front of these lot, they have to come at us.
Yeah. Do you think, Michael? Because we were so dominant, and more in possession. We had we were dominant in terms of the tempo. We were dominant in terms of everything. We were dictating everything up to a certain point. We'll talk about that certain point a little bit afterwards. But it was so comfortable. It was actually frightening at times.
It was, and it was luring us all, I think, into a slight false sense of security. And then Nick Pope gets injured, he goes off, and I still think that we just started to sit back. And it was just that last kind of like 5, how there was 9 minutes of it at a time, I don't know. Like, tally it.
9.5 in the end.
It was ridiculous. It was probably more like 5, but it was the same as against PSG midweek. How there was 8 there, I don't know. But yeah, we just started to sit back, and the only criticism from my perspective tonight is that we weren't more clinical. But big picture, it's a win against Man United at home. It keeps the run going, and it's fucking freezing.
Lee, Nick Pope.
This is Geordie saying it's freezing. Yeah. Listen, this is a southerner saying it's freezing, but if a Geordie says it, bloody hell, it must be freezing.
It's boiling here, like it's absolutely boiling. Lee, Nick Pope getting injured is an absolute. Well, I was going to say it's another crisis, but that's the only position we've got a little bit of cover in.
I was going to say we've got about 15 keepers on the bench. What are you on about?
No, it's the only place we've got like at least 2 goalkeepers that you'd be comfortable with Dubravka and Karius. But in all seriousness, it's another injury. He looks like he lands on his shoulder after Reguilon goes for the shot. It's blocked by Joe Linton, but he obviously he's already diving, and he lands in a really awkward position. Just another injury, and it's going to be another question for Eddie Howe. How long's Nick Pope going to go out for? If it's shoulder, you're looking about 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, you're looking at a couple of months, and I've just said at the top of the video. At the moment, we've got a game every three days at the minute. The schedule is just really hectic, and then we've got the Carabao Cup, and the Champions League, and that crucial game against Milan here. So Dubravka's going to get a run in the side, and you might even see, depending who we get in the FA Cup draw, Karius might even play that one. So I'm not concerned as like. See if we lost Gordon, who goes left wing, we're like, oh my God, Harvey Barnes is out injured. Or
no, I'm not too concerned. Sorry to cut you.
It's not as bad, but it's still another injury. And yes, people question his goal kicking, but he had a fantastic game out in Paris. You know, that's what he's capable of. He's capable of keeping Newcastle in the game or winning 1 or 2 points. You know, Shea Given, I mentioned him last week, but Shea Given used to win us 15 points a season. Nick Pope wins us at least 6, so it's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, like that was Nick Pope's best performance, probably in a black and white shirt for Newcastle. It was a dodgy referee decision away from probably the performance of his life, performance of his career. That's how good of a performance it was for Nick Pope. But after that, it was a case of can Newcastle just get through it the last 4 minutes and 9.5 minutes of injury time. But Manchester United did get the ball in the back of the net. It was a cross from the left to the right. Anthony's shot hits Harry Maguire in the line of the goalkeeper in an offside position. VAR confirmed it after the linesman asked the referee basically, who got contact. The referee said Maguire. Maguire's in an offside position, and it was the right decision with VAR confirming it. Right. But Michael, you're just thinking, can we get through this? Can we get through this? Can we get through this? And that was basically the best that Man United had in the whole second half. They had a free kick which Bruno decided to give them a free kick by hacking them down, and Dubravka came out and claimed it. It was so comfortable, but the last few minutes were nervy as always.
Classic Newcastle United, isn't it? But no, I mean, if that is all they can bring in the last kind of by virtue of, you know, a disallowed goal because of offside coming off Harry Maguire, Nick Pope injury, and the final kind of flourish of like the last 5 or 6 minutes, then good luck to them. You know, I can't see them finishing top 4. I can't see them finishing probably top 6. So,
and how bad was Rashford?
He was shocking. He was exactly.
Did he play a full 90 minutes?
He played 16 minutes and he was anonymous. Absolutely anonymous.
I didn't even notice him. I'm not even trying to banter.
And again, how's he getting in the England side and Anthony Gordon isn't? When he's just been nominated for Player of the Month.
He was awful. Like when they started making the changes and there were, you know, who came on?
Hoyland and Anthony
came on. I mean,
YouTuber.
I think he's so overrated.
Rat.
Bruno Fernandes is a rat.
But honest to God, like Rashford, I don't know what's happened to him. It's kind of a shame, really, because like he is a decent player, at least in the England setup, or at least should be. But he offered nothing, absolutely nothing.
He'll be fine. But I think Gareth Southgate's Wi-Fi clearly doesn't work up here because, you know, he's not spotting the likes of Gordon playing Like Gordon might end up playing for Scotland. Like, what's that about?
Jamal Lascelles is better than fucking Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire was awful as well tonight. Like
Harry Maguire should have had a yellow card, 3 yellow cards before in terms of challenges. That's how bad he was. But look, Gareth Southgate's in Paris or wherever the draw is watching that. We're watching Newcastle win and Anthony Gordon score the winner.
Okay, if you're watching, you might want to take a look at Tina Livramento. Don't listen to what Lee says about Luke Shaw. Tina Livramento is the truth.
No, stop putting me in this shit. Livramento is class, I've said that, but if you had to pick a 1-11 for longevity, because you don't want Livramento playing left back for Newcastle, you want him right back, ideally. But he's got Trippier ahead of him.
Livramento can play left back, right back, in goal, anywhere, mate. And he can still do a job.
He's so unrealistic. Livramento in goal.
I'll give one of my players praise. In fact, Livramento is the best left back in the Premier League. Yeah, clip that out. I don't give a shit.
Anyway, Newcastle did win. They did hold on and they did beat Manchester United by 1-0. Eddie Howe just loves beating Manchester United. He's the first Newcastle United manager to get 3 wins in a row over Manchester United since 1922. Eddie, tell me more about that.
We rested them well, we hoped. We had, I think, a good time between PSG and this game to get the players ready physically. Even so, though, we're well aware of our situation and there's lots of potential danger signs for any team when you go into another game so quickly. But the players have responded again. I mean, what a response to that late goal in Paris where, again, easy to feel sorry for ourselves. We rolled our sleeves out. I thought we gave a brilliant display today. I thought we really were very good. It's usually the way it looks really innocuous, but they look the most serious ones at times. You can see he's in distress there. I think he's dislocated his shoulder just diving. I think the arm kept going and it looks like we could lose him. But I have to compliment Martin again because he's come on in a really difficult situation with 10 minutes to go. And that's not nice for a goalkeeper to do that. And I thought he did really well.
And we are back. I'm coming out with stats left, right and centre. Statman Johnny, there you go. Look, injuries. Eddie Howe will be discussing Nick Pope, which you've obviously heard about. But in terms of where it stands for Newcastle United right now, Michael, they are 5th in the Premier League table. Your Premier League table is coming up right now. Look, in terms of teams that we're kind of looking at now, Arsenal were the only one that were only playing. They beat Wolves by 2-1. Look, we're up there. We'll be up there from now to the end of the season. We're 5th. We're above Spurs. Spurs were in the title race a couple of weeks ago. Now they're not. It looks a lot more rosy, and I know it's a big week. We've got 2 Premier League games coming up in the next few days. Yeah. But you've got to be confident. Even though we've got a depleted squad, the table looks a lot more healthy, doesn't it?
It does. But let's just take stock of where we're at. We've still got a healthy, injury list on the books, and it's a much more competitive league this year. Liverpool are back in amongst it. There's a very strong Villa side under Emery, and don't write Spurs off even if they are bottlers.
Write them off. They had their little run for all of us 6 weeks. Write them off.
To be fair, you not see the parade in September. It was amazing.
But still, I think we've got to be kind of aware of the fact that we're playing on. We're putting squads out on multiple fronts here at the moment. We've got the FA Cup to come in January. It's going to be a challenge if the injury list keeps as it is. So take one game as it comes. Doing the proper managerial crap.
Oh, no.
Lee's point of we're playing a game every 3 days. You've just got to bit by bit eke through the winter period.
Listen, we beat every team as it comes. Anyone can get it. Doesn't matter who we put out. If it's Shola, if it's Alan Shearer, if it's flipping Nick Pope, anyone can get this.
Speaking of Shola, our Livramento song went round.
I heard that was class.
Got a new chant now.
But Lee, in all seriousness, 3 down, 7 to go till Boxing Day before the players get a full week rest. It's Everton on Thursday and then Tottenham next Sunday, 2 back-to-back away days, and they're both difficult. Let's be honest, they're both very difficult away days. How do Newcastle juggle it, and can you see any changes going into Thursday?
I think there'll be not many training sessions. I don't think, because there's that many games, how many training sessions can you really squeeze in? Because you need a rest as well. The players will have a rest tomorrow, and they'll probably go, Monday and Tuesday, maybe Wednesday game. It's going to be like that, and you're going to have to manage your squad because we've got that many injuries. You can't risk another one. We're desperate. I know with 40 says we're grinding out wins, and we were robbed in Paris and what have you. But that bench, we're going to need it at some point in December. And in the moment you take Lewis Hall out and Richie, who isn't really the same player as what he was 2-3 years ago. It's barebone. It's an under-21 side who've got very little experience, so we're desperate to get bodies back, and don't be surprised if we have a signing the 1st or 2nd of January, because we're that desperate.
We do.
It'll be happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, we do need players through the door. Like Newcastle, hopefully get a couple of players in. That's the bare minimum when you look at the injury list. 40. I want to just before we kind of go into the man of the match in the end of the video, Lewis Miley. How impressive is that young man right now?
Oh, mate, listen, do I get excited? Nah. He's like you said, if we take him out of the team, we're fucked. We're screwed. Like, Joe Linton obviously doing bits right now. Bruno, what a game he's had. But Lewis Miley, for a 17-year-old guy, he should be at college right now. And he's running rings around these players. In Paris, here, against Manchester United. He's Chelsea as well, had a fantastic game as well. So again, look, when these players do come back, when we eventually do get our full squad back, they might be riding the bench for a little bit. Longstaff, your boy, might be sitting down on the bench for a little bit and say, look, see that young man right there? He's got your spot. So that's a credit to him.
I said to you a couple of weeks ago, if everybody's fit, there's Snarly's replacement. If everybody's fit. It's not the minute, so you can't really say that. But if everybody's fit right now, do we need to go and spend 40, 50, 60 million on a centre midfielder? Because that lad there is doing the business.
No. I mean, if anything, Lee, Miley is the player we went out in the summer to buy. In terms of like playing that number 6 role, what we're looking for, we bought Tonali on the back of it.
That's why we didn't get a number 6, because Tonali really isn't a number 6, is he? He's not the number 6 that we thought we was going to get, the defensive midfielder. Miley is that guy, and again, we spent nothing on him. Do you know what I mean? He's homegrown. He's one of our own, as people love to say.
I love that chant. He's one of our own. But it was Lewis Miley's got his own song at the moment in time, which is good to hear as well. Lee, man of the match today.
Miley, I've got to. But I've bigged him up. I've got to stick with him. Livermore does run him close, but I'm going to go Miley. I have to.
Tino was class down the left, and I'll chuck in Bruno. I thought Bruno was good in the middle of the park as well.
Who's man of the match?
Tino for me.
I'm just going to say Gordinho, just for the sake.
Gordinho. Do you know his Anthony Gordon deserves a lot of praise. I thought he was outstanding today. But there's a little lad called Tino Livermore that was just a teeny weeny bit better. I thought Tino was absolutely outstanding.
Now, do you? Oh, that's nice of you. Oh, right. Oh.
Hold on, when did I not rate him?
Wait, you're saying he doesn't deserve to be in England squad? Oh, was it him? One of you two.
I did not say not in the England squad.
Can I have my apology on your YouTube channel, please?
Why? For what?
For lying.
Lying about what?
Because it was him that said it, not me.
Hold on, you're still the guy that still thinks Jamal Lascelles should be dropped any time that Botman comes back into the team. But Jamal Lascelles, the one that kept a clean sheet today, the one that's captain right now, the one that
Botman can't play when he's injured.
Had a fantastic game against PSG, against Chelsea. That guy, Jamal Lascelles, should get dropped for Botman just walking straight in.
Do you know what it is? He doesn't speak a lot of rubbish, does he? He speaks a lot of rubbish.
Admit it, I'm right. Lascelles deserves his place in the team, even when Botman comes back. Just say it. Just say it.
He's got a point to prove, Lascelles. He's got a point to prove.
Say it, man.
Do you know what it is? He's got a point to prove, Jamal Lascelles, hasn't he?
So's all your shoes.
I know. Hey, all done. We're talking about fashion. We're not even going there. We're not going there tonight. We're not going there tonight. I'll tell you what we're going to say. We're going to say that Newcastle were absolutely outstanding. They beat Manchester United by 1-0. And yeah, well done again to the players. The fans were amazing. A nice little boost as well from the owner last week as well. The fans were certainly on side after last week. But yeah, it's been a solid week for Newcastle United. And it's just another solid week coming up. Everton, Lee will be there Thursday. Women's game tomorrow as well. Me and Lee will be there as well for that one at Kingston Park. If you want to come along and watch the Lasses, by all means, we're at Kingston Park. It's 2 o'clock kick-off against West Bromwich Albion. And next Sunday it's Tottenham. He'll be there as well for that game next Sunday in the capital. So it's going to be very, very busy. But yeah, we're all going to go home because it's 10:30. It's freezing, and I'm going to go and get myself a bovril. Have a lovely evening and a great weekend.
Like, comment, subscribe. That's what you should be saying to you. I'm helping these lot out. It's not even my channel. Like, comment, subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV and all that good stuff.
He just likes playing characters
on
other channels.
He's awful, you know what I mean? Honestly, who does he think he is? Doesn't he rate Botman? See, he's like...